Hey guys, this is Kevin from News Rocky, and we're coming to you live here with a really exciting show today. Obviously, we launched our Forward TV network yesterday. You guys tuned in, you supported us. We had a really incredible guest with Stormy Daniels. That's right, we had a Stormy Daniels interview. And you know what? The feedback was amazing. I got to tell you that we look forward to having Stormy back on the show and hearing more of her story. You know, the one thing I hear all the time is News Rocky, you're all conservative, Republican, crazy, red meat-eating crazy guy. Well, no, it's really not the fact. The fact is that we really welcome stories of all kinds. We want to hear the stories from all kinds of people out there. And Stormy's story, I think, to me, was pretty good. Rex, what'd you think of yesterday? Good? Awesome. That's Rex over there I'm talking to every now and then. That's the producer of this great News Rocky show. We appreciate what she's doing. Guys, we're also going to have a really cool show, like I said earlier. We're going to be having Alex Jones in the ring. I'm actually going in his ring. We're going to be on InfoWars with Alex Jones. So, guys, stay tuned to this show today. You know, this is where I want you to make sure you don't leave for a second unless you want to run more right now. Go get a soda and some popcorn and then come on back. Get in front of your smart device, your TV, wherever you're streaming this. Hopefully, you're going to be streaming it on Forward TV network, right? So, guys, let's talk now. I'm coming to you on many platforms. I want you all to go over to Forward TV because that's where everything's going to be released, and we want to consistently give you the best product, and that's where you're going to get it from. So go on over to Forward TV so you can watch your News Rocky show each and every day. So Alex Jones, how did this whole thing happen? Let's talk a little bit about that. You know, Alex Jones is someone that we talked about early on when I started the News Rocky concept. I called Alex Jones out and said, you know what? What a son of a gun. I can't believe this guy was talking about Sandy Hook. I can't believe, I was talking on my show about it. And this is many months back. And someone sent me an email and said, look, you maybe want to look at a couple of the things that Alex Jones has said since he did go out and get involved with the Sandy Hook conversation. And listen, there's no denying Sandy Hook happened. And if you're from Connecticut especially, you're going to take it very personal if you think somebody's out there talking about or sort of, not really supporting the real concept of this loss of life. But to me, Alex Jones was an intriguing guy. And up to that point, I would have listened to anything he had to say just for the pure fact he's brilliant. But I didn't agree with that. Well, lo and behold, what happens? I have my friend Norm Pattis on. Norm Pattis happens to be the attorney. Yes, that's right, for Alex Jones. Well, Norm Pattis and I have a discussion about all kinds of cases he's representing, and we get up to the Alex Jones conversation, and Norm Pattis says, well, do you want to go on a show? What? Do you want him on your show? Yeah. Because what I did admit to Norm Pattis that day was that I actually watched the Joe Rogan show, all right? I know, I'm not supposed to talk about all these other shows and all this stuff, but you know what? Hey, News Rocky, it is what it is. I watched the Joe Rogan show where I saw Alex Jones admit 100%, take responsibility. And to me, that's the world I want to live in. I don't want to live in the world that's cancel culture. I don't want to live in the world where you don't say exactly what somebody wants to hear or stay with that narrative so you get shut down. Imagine if that happened every day. So I said, you know what? Yes, I want to take advantage. Norm Pattis, can you get me with Alex Jones? And he did. We did an interview with Alex Jones. You guys watched it. He came into the News Rocky. He got in the ring with me. We spent an hour talking and learning. And actually, I think most people's feedback was, wow, it was an amazing interview. Got a chance to see somebody in sort of a different light than you're used to. And so then Alex said, hey, you ever want to come on my show? Come on InfoWars. And I got a chance to go on InfoWars. And let me tell you, what a great experience. You're going to see this 10-minute clip here in a few seconds where we were actually on the episode with Alex Jones talking about a variety of topics, covering everything from Nancy Pelosi, the 25th Amendment. We talked about the Second Amendment, how black and tan people of this country can actually change the focus of the Second Amendment conversation. We talk a lot of topics with Alex, but you know what the most important thing is? That we tuned in to listen to what Alex Jones had to say. See, the cancel culture was telling us to turn Alex Jones off. Think about all the platforms Alex Jones is no longer a part of. Think about how he's been disconnected. And by the way, folks, if you think it's only Sandy Hook that's ruined Alex Jones, it's not just that. It's his affiliation or support of the former president of the United States, Donald Trump. You see, he is one of the cancel culture victims in a sense of those people who go out there and they express themselves. And why does anyone want to stop someone from hearing their thoughts? Why would anyone want to turn it off and say, it's not quite, what we want. It's not my cup of tea. So you know what? You're done. We're not going to allow you on any platforms. Why would you want that world? I don't want that world. I want a world where we hear everyone's opinions. And it's such a pleasure. I got to tell you, meeting Alex Jones, obviously virtually here through the remote that we were able to do, but actually talking to him and getting ready for the show and talking up to that point about, what we're going to do. It was amazing. Here's a professional in this space, someone that's been doing it for a long time and someone that's been actually putting out some really inspiring material. I think when you look at his body of work, yeah, he's called out some things. But guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I challenge anyone out there, go check on Alex Jones. See the body of work he has. See how many different topics. So everyone wanted to ask me from the Alex Jones interview that I had. Everyone wanted to ask, well, why didn't you ask Alex about the frogs? Gay frogs. That's what he called, homosexual frogs is his big thing. Well, first of all, that's a very small piece of Alex Jones' work. And by the way, actually, you can study it. There's some scientific fact to that actually happened, but that's not an interesting conversation to me. The News Rocky show doesn't want to talk about that. That's more noise from the corporate media, right? I wanted to talk to Alex Jones about who he really was. And we actually had that conversation. And I know you guys paid attention. I know you listened. And I hope you appreciated it, because getting to understand Alex Jones on that level that we had that interview, it was amazing. So this interview you're going to see with me at InfoWars, going on with Alex as a guest, you're going to see a different type of presentation. It's going to be in his arena right there in Texas where he films from. And we certainly were appreciative of all of his staff and most importantly, Alex Jones for allowing us to come on. The one good part I will say, folks, is I got another invite to go back on Alex Jones and collaborate with him in the future. And so we're excited about that. I think that's going to be a really amazing thing. Keep growing our platform at News Rocky. Guys, so before we go over to that Alex Jones interview, I want to ask you to do me a favor. So I want you to hit your button and say share. I want you to share this right now on any platform you can. So hit the share button, guys. Go. I know you know what I'm talking about. So if you're on the social media platform, if you're on Facebook platform, go down and share this onto any platform that you can find on your smart device, on your Facebook page, and spread the word about News Rocky and keep on commenting. So guys, during the show, you got to keep these comments coming. I want to hear what you have to say. I want you to ask me questions so I can respond back to you and we can engage. This is what this whole concept is about. You don't get this out there in the other corporate media world platforms. This is what's making News Rocky, I think, very different from the content you're being provided. So make sure you do that. So go down and share. I see the numbers are going back and forth here. I want you to share News Rocky on all the platforms. And guy, by the way, the biggest thing you can do is go over to Forward TV. Check us out on Facebook. Our platform is launched. Our website, all the other places you can find us, YouTube, all that stuff. You'll find it right on the website and the Facebook page. We'll go land on the Facebook page of Forward TV and share that. Keep on sharing. Guys, if you saw the lineup last night that we had, we had the sports show, Tastefully, what is it called? Tastefully what? That's right, Tastefully Inappropriate, which was a great show. We had so many different shows. I'm trying to think of them now. What's the girl show? I'm sorry. She Can't Even. I'm supposed to know this. The network producers are going to beat me up for this. She Can't Even is absolutely hilarious, right? I laughed watching that show last night. I want you guys to check that out. You go to the network, you'll see that as well on the Forward Network Facebook page, our TV page. What I want you to do now, though, is share this so we can get this episode of News Rocky shared with as many people as you can. Guys, we're going to go into this episode where I actually went on with Alex Jones and I was his guest at InfoWars. And it's amazing. You're going to love this episode. I think this interview went really well. Rex, can we go to the interview, please?
Well, I was on Kevin Skulczek's show. Thought it was pretty informative. Wanted to get him to pop in on the broadcast with us. He's the host of News Rocky. Is a retired correction officer and state of Connecticut, former first selectman of the town of Gristwood and former Connecticut state representative, 45th district. He has owned and co-owned several businesses, including Pub 45 and Field, how do you say that? Tranquility. I like that name, like on the moon. Kevin has had a passion for politics and radio since he was a child. Hosting the News Rocky podcast is his dream job at News Rocky on Facebook for now. But he's on with us, and I wanted to get into a host of subjects with him. Coronavirus and our Lord and Savior Fauci, Biden's push for reparations, how black and tan Americans will save the Second Amendment, the future of the GOP, the Las Vegas shooting, why is the case closed, or is it closed? Great to have you here with us, my friend.
Hey, Alex, great to be with you today, and I'm so excited to be on your show. Thank you, brother.
I'm excited to have you here. I want to get you on our other shows. You're a great talk show host. Hey, first off, what do you make of Pelosi wanting the nuclear code, saying Biden's got the 25th Amendment problem? This is crazy. I thought they'd wait a while before they made their move on Biden.
Listen, brother, there's no time to waste. I mean, listen, we don't even know how long Joe Biden's going to make it physically, health-wise. There's no doubt that this plan was pre-organized. We know it. You talk about it every day on your show, and we do the same thing. This is just the ultimate plan for this total control by this Democratic control, Pelosi, Schumer, and the rest of the clowns down there in Washington, D.C.
What would you call this period of time we're living in right now?
Scary. It's actually the scariest time to be alive and be in America. I think this is scarier than any time ever, because you know what? When you're losing your First Amendment right, what you've been going through as a host, what Donald Trump, the former president, went through, when they've denied access for platforms to control the narrative, and they're coming after our guns, Alex. This is a crazy time, brother.
I totally agree with you. Now they're saying you can't criticize NATO on Twitter. I mean, this is getting crazy.
You know what, Alex? I just did a special episode of the attacks of NATO on the Serbian people. And I don't. We're going to have the topic here. We can talk about it.
Let's get into that, because here's the deal. I'm not a Serb-ophile. I'm not. I don't have any East European blood in me. They're great people. Right. But I mean, looking and studying that, they admitted, the UN had to admit that double the number of Serbs died as other groups. They admitted that the Muslims started the war. But then Clinton went in and bombed Belgrade with DU and took over Pristina and all that. Literally, the war criminals were the outsiders, but then they killed Slobodan Milosevic inside The Hague.
It wasn't just Bill Clinton, the president of the United States in 1999. It was also our president today, Joe Biden. He was the chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee. He actually went and orchestrated this plan. And today, I talked to a Serbian resident who lived through it at 11 years old. She shared her story. It's going to be on next week on a 2-part series on News Rocky. I'm going to tell you, Alex, there's a lot of answers that need to be offered by the government here in this United States. On
that was a major war crime. And what do you think of Biden now saying we need to let China take over Hong Kong and let China run death camps?
Are you kidding? Here we go, right? This is what happens each and every time. Joe Biden is just another talking piece for the Democratic control party. They are looking to try to, now look at, Alex, no wars in 4 years under the former president.
Zero.
No wars. We now are facing Iran, Iraq. These are the conversations that the government, wag the dog government. That's what I call it. Wag the dog government in Washington, D.C. They want this.
I agree. What about the domestic front, the troops at the Capitol, and Senator Leahy saying the troops don't leave till they rout out the patriots?
We are now in a military zone down in, and the military is going to be there. We know it's not going away, right? We're going to see, when we want to bring our kids down and our children to show them what Washington, D.C. is like, we're going to have to go through each little military stop, because that's the government that this politicians in Washington, D.C., they wanted, Alex. They want to deny us our country and our rights.
That's right. Everything is now a little martial law checkpoint programming point.
It's amazing. And listen, Alex, you were down there, right? And you were down there for the gathering. You participated, exercised your First Amendment rights. Look at the attacks on the good American people who are out exercising their American right, their rights as a First Amendment in this country.
We had 1 million people out there. Maybe 200 broke in. Maybe 50 were violent. One guy pooped on the walls. No one's endorsing that. But literally, it was 4 citizens were killed. Now the mother of the cop that got killed said he died of a aneurysm. He was never hit in the head. It was all a lie.
Is that true? I haven't seen that. And be honest with you, that's something that's great concerning for all Americans, because the lies that keep on coming out through the corporate media. We know you fight it every day, Alex. I'm just getting in this industry, and I can tell you right from the beginning, I'm fighting each and every day to fight against fake news, fake corporate media. Each and every day, they want to deny us to tell the truth.
What about civil war? Pelosi wants a civil war. I don't want violence. I think the communist Chinese do. They're claiming I want violence or others want violence. What do you think the Democrats want?
Listen, what's the better distraction than the following the bouncing ball, right? This is all it is. This is typical politics. I sat in a seat at the State House in Hartford, Connecticut here. I was a state representative. Nothing helps with politicians to pass their own policies through than create some kind of diversion. This is all diversion tactics, and that's what Washington, D.C. insiders know. You know that, Alex. This happens every day.
Yeah, the way to kill a story is with another story. So looking at their attempts at racial division, and the Coca-Cola training video saying whiteness is evil, get rid of it. Nickelodeon saying that. Biden pushing reparations. Most of the population of the U.S. that's white, they have studies, over 80% has no ancestor that was even in the U.S. during slavery. Most people came here after it. And then only 2% of Southerners had slaves. So it's literally almost no one that you'd have to do their genealogy to know. How do you then charge somebody that, say, moved here from Russia 50 years ago, or Italy 20 years ago, or Germany 15 years ago, or the UK 60 years ago, or anywhere? How do you charge them because they're white to give black people money? And obviously the government doesn't care about black people. It's this idea of the government taking from one group and giving to another. It's very dangerous. Kevin, School Check, I appreciate you coming on. You join us again. We got about 10 minutes left in this segment. Let's get into Biden reparations. That's something you've been covering big.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something, Alex. This is something that concerns me because you know what? The average American, this really isn't on the highlight reel. We know that the atrocities that took place, not just for the Black Americans' ancestors, they want to call it, but, you know, think about the Native Americans of this country. They're never talked about. But this is nonsense. Who's going to pay for the next generation of issues that we have to go and remedy with? You know, I just think this is a bunch of Washington, D.C. insider campaign promises, and they're going to continue to do this, Alex.
I agree. Let's get into Las Vegas shooting. Man, they always hype up all the other shootings, but they don't want us to talk about that one.
Why? You know, Alex, I know you listen, you're on to every topic going on in the world practically, but let's ask a real serious question. I believe they closed out this investigation back in 2018. When you look at the investigation, it seems like there was not a lot of clarity here. There was not a lot of open to this investigation. Now, how does someone take 300 plus pounds of ammunition and guns up, 30 floors in a hotel room, disarm the security system?
Now, what's your best analysis? Because we basically, from my view, we know what actually happened there. What's your view?
Listen, this was an insider deal. This was somebody. Listen, I'm a Second Amendment guy like you, and I think this is purely opportunity for people to push a narrative on the attack of the Second Amendment in this country. I also believe that this was again. I refer to Wag the Dog a lot, Alex. The movie from 1997 or 87 with Dustin Hoffman in it.
Nice,
this is an attempt to control the narrative. They want to distract.
Let's be clear. I agree. We basically know what happened. You have the Saudi Arabians having a major convention there. They couldn't get weapons in. And so they had the CIA contractor that already sold weapons for Fast and Furious into Mexico that actually went to Al-Qaeda. You had a civil war, Trump shutting down Al-Qaeda in Saudi Arabia, a civil war that later broke out in Saudi Arabia that America won through Trump. And the Wahhabis got shut down. So they set him up. He brought them the arms. Then they used that to try to embarrass Trump, shoot everything up. But Trump figured it out, exposed him, rolled up the Al-Qaeda network. So that was really an extension of the war in Syria coming to America. And the Islamists is saying, we'll attack your casinos just like they do in Mumbai and to the Indians and others if you don't submit to us. And so it was the right answer. Not a lot of coverage. Go kill the Al-Qaeda people. That's what happened.
Just another cover-up, in my opinion, of by government.
It is a cover-up, but real terrorism you don't want to give attention to. So they just went in, took over Saudi Arabia, killed everybody involved. Remember, like they took over the Ritz-Carlton and in Riyadh, had guys hanging up. I mean, I'm not for torture and stuff. I'm just saying Trump went in and rolled up the Islamists for what they did in Las Vegas.
Exactly. So, you know, that's one topic. I mean, we got a lot of stuff. And, you know, I want to thank you again, Alex, for letting us come on. And I appreciated you being on my show. But so much in the news, man. And I appreciate what you do every day.
Don't thank me, brother. Let's talk about the future of the GOP. You've been all over that. They're pretty much capitulating now that Trump is the future of the GOP with everybody but McConnell, who's a Chinese agent. You've had Graham come out. You've had Pence come out and say, no, we're supporting Trump.
Right. Even after the book came out with former Vice President Mike Pence. But, you know, the interesting part about this is you have Mitt Romney, right, who is, you know, flip-flop Mitt Romney, as we call him. You know, one day he's Trump. Then the next day he's projecting that, Trump most likely will be the candidate in 2024. Hey, we're back, and that was my interview that was on InfoWars with Alex Jones. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, let's put it out there right now so everyone can get it out of the way. The elephant in the room. Every now and then I get wound up and I jumble a few words. I will admit, militarized zone, I think was one. I think right. Yeah, we're doing a list of all the words I screwed up. We'll get back to you on each one of those. We'll audit those. But you know what? Listen, the substance of that interview, I hope you can appreciate. There you go. There's an opportunity for if we listen to what cancel culture tells us, if we listen to what the silence majority or the silencers want us to do, they want us to turn people like Alex Jones off. Now, I ask you, why would you want to turn Alex Jones off? Are you scared of what he has to say? Are you intimidated by the fact that he can actually, sort of debate the topics at hand? I got to tell you, Piers Morgan, there's an interview with Alex Jones. And if you guys haven't seen some of Alex's best work, pull up on that YouTube video of Piers Morgan and Alex Jones. Alex Jones is amazing in that video. It's actually hilarious. But it's really not hilarious. It's not funny. Is the attack on people of this country who are free, who live under a constitution that allows you to do what I'm doing right now under this, this microphone in this facility here with the Forward TV network. We should be afforded the opportunity. If you are interested in listening to me, if you're interested in sharing what we're doing, if you want to, be a part of this rise of freedom of speech, you need to get together with us. See, we need to support people like Alex Jones. Now, am I going to agree with Alex Jones on everything he says? I don't think so. And I don't think Alex is going to agree with me. That's not the point. The point is we should support freedom of speech. And, the sad fact is that I don't think that the people out there, the common people, the average everyday people of this country, they want freedom of speech, but they're outmaneuvered. And it unfortunately happens often. The noise from corporate media, and I'm talking about all the big boys. We watch CNN, we watch, CNBC, all of them. We can name them off. I don't care who it is. They are all out with one agenda. And it's interesting now as this agenda actually changes, because let's face it, folks, we don't have Donald J. Trump in the White House. So we have Joe Biden. And if you guys have been watching Joe Biden, and, earlier in that interview, Alex asked me a question about Nancy Pelosi and the 25th Amendment. Guys, there is no doubt. We need to put a wager board here together. And I would love to hear from you guys. Start commenting. How long do you think Joe Biden is going to serve as the president of the United States? I'm sorry for Joe Biden. I feel bad for him. He's being used, a pawn in this control of government by control party politicians and control party corporate media. So how long do you think Joe Biden is going to be able to hang in there before Nancy Pelosi pulls the plug? You see, Nancy Pelosi, she's no spring chicken herself. She's been in office, I think, for over 40 plus years. She often looks as if she's a little befuddled and sort of confused at times. I'm sure she says words better than me, just for the record. Yeah, that's funny, Rex, huh? Okay. Anyways, but you know what the final thing is? $10 a wearer picks the date. Okay, there you go. You know what? We should do, Scott, we should do that. We should do a pool right here. I'm going to figure out with the producers how we can do that. We'll do the Joe Biden pool. We'll put it out there. Everyone can pick a date. We'll set up brackets. We'll do this just like they do with the NCAA basketball tournaments. All right. We're going to do that here on the News Rocky Show. And we'll pick some dates and times when you, the listeners and supporters of News Rocky, think that actually Joe Biden will be removed from office. And what happens when Joe Biden gets removed from office? Who comes up? Kamala Harris comes up. Kamala Harris, the vice president of the United States, who was polling at around 1% during the primary, when she was facing Joe Biden and accusing Joe Biden of racial issues and accusing Joe Biden of the professional politician. But actually, the funny part about it, guys, is simply this. This is typical political games that take place. You see, we thought for one moment that we had this unbelievable energy in the White House in this Donald Trump. But guys, by the way, you can love Donald Trump. You can hate Donald Trump. It doesn't matter. He's not an insider. What we quickly saw, once we know that Joe Biden has arrived, we're seeing the struggles of this very frail, very, very confused man. And it's sad. It actually is sad that someone gives this guy or pushes this guy into this position. He's clearly mentally struggling. Folks, he's reading from note cards, not even asking himself, what am I doing? You've seen it. You've seen the video. So how long is Joe Biden going to stay in office? How long before Kamala Harris takes over as the president? And who's going to be the choice for the vice president under Kamala Harris? I got to tell you, I threw it out there before. Cory Booker is my pick. Actually, also Chris Murphy, one of my favorite right here from Connecticut. I bet you he's on the short list too. I would love for us to be able to predict that. Not just because it's what I want to happen, because I know it's going to happen. I'm telling you that Kamala Harris is going to bring up either Senator Cory Booker, or it's going to be Chris Murphy from Connecticut. Those are the two I'm going to put out there. So we can bet on wager that one too, if you like to, with the News Rocky show here. Again, this is part of the Forward TV network. We're bringing this to you each and every day, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. News Rocky goes live. So guys, we're talking a little bit about that conversation I had with Alex Jones. What a pleasure to be able to be on a show with him. He's a brilliant guy. You know, you guys out there that want to throw some anti-Alex Jones stuff my way. And by the way, I want to touch on that. You know, when I was building up for Alex Jones in the show, which believe me, to be able to interview Alex Jones, think about it, guys. Alex Jones has been out there and interviewed with everybody you can think of. I mean, there's not one that, to Megyn Kelly, for example, had an amazing interview with him. And I got a chance to actually interview the same person that all these folks are out there doing at these massive platforms. Think about that for a moment. Now, somebody go, oh, well, maybe it's towards the end of his career. Whatever. No, he's not. He turns down interviews all the time. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast not that long ago, back in November, with the #1 podcast in the world, Joe Rogan. Guess who else he was on? He was on News Rocky, man. That's a big deal. And I took it serious. And the reason I took it serious was because when you look at what is going on with the corporate media now and the pushback of corporate media, I look at Alex Jones as an opportunity to actually help not just my platform, but help his platform. Because regardless of what you want to think of this man, you got to respect him. But I want to touch on this. I had email after email from people in public office in Connecticut, that people that work around politics. And you know what they said to me? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to reschedule my appearance on News Rocky. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Came from Republicans. Came from Republicans in the state of Connecticut. The Republicans who I sat and broke bread with, talked to, I was getting negative feedback from. Why would you have him on your show? You want to know why? Because he should be heard. You see, if you're so beaten as a Republican dog, you get down on a knee and you play the game with the party you want to play with. Me? That ain't how I play. I want to talk to everybody, including anybody across the aisle. See, you weak-minded people will fall victim to that. I did. I'm glad those people that sent me those messages, quite frankly, said, I can't come on your show. Some of them I still like and respect, but you know what? You'll never get a chance to come on my show. Not on News Rocky. And you know what? At some appropriate time, if you even try to come back on the show, I'm going to out you. So don't even send me an email or a friendly happy birthday message. You know who I'm talking to right now. And I'm telling you, I got a lot of them. And 99% of them were Republicans. Why would that be, Kevin? Ask the question. Go ahead. Ask me. Ask me why. Why, Kevin? Thanks for that question. You know why? Because you're scared. You're scared of getting elected. You're scared of speaking the truth as a Republican. No, you know what? The Democrats, I expect the people on that side. I actually got more people on the Democratic liberal side saying, you know what? That was a great interview. But the Republicans that run for the hills because they're scared, oh man, I cannot wait for the 2022 elections. I can't wait for the next gubernatorial election in the state of Connecticut because I got a lot to say. And by the way, I got a platform. That's right. And I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I'm coming after you. Just like that. Is that a song? Is that a rap song? Just like my neck, my back. Just like that. Oh, Chris Cagle thinks he's the only one that can do this. I can do this all day long. Old school rap. So Alex Jones, what an episode we had. I talked a little bit about, I'm getting wound up just talking about it right now. But, the great part about talking to Alex Jones, and if you heard right there, we talked about a variety of topics. Obviously, I think the Nancy Pelosi one stands out the most. We did not get into the coronavirus and Lord Fauci. And I'm going to tell you, the fact that it was brought up in the show, I want to just address it. One of the things I find very interesting is the coronavirus and Lord Fauci has put. Fauci has worked for administration after administration after administration. In fact, I kind of in my mind think that if any human, any American in the history of America has ever sat in the White House in the Oval Office, Lord Fauci's the one. His ass has been on that couch more than any other American in the history of this country. Mark my words on that one. I will promise you, he's worked for so many administrations. His ass has been on every one of these administrations going back 8 or 10, 8 or 9 going back. I certainly would wager that one as well. So guess what? Lord Fauci now wants double masks. Lord Fauci is saying, he's throwing it out there, but I think the White House and certainly the press secretary, you know her, the circle back girl, circle back. I'll circle back to you. Let me circle back. She keeps on saying a little bit of a different narrative than actually Fauci's out there talking about, but he's talking possibly 2022. We will be in this coronavirus lockdown until 2022. What do you guys think of that? I think to me, it is still a form of control that the political system, see, they don't want to just see anyone who supported an alternative sort of vision for this country to exist. They want to snuff that opinion out. They want to destroy anyone who's going against the current administration or the opinion of the corporate media. Now, Lord Fauci also has some really interesting, when you look at the medicine, and we're reading each and every day about the fatality rate of people who are taking these medicines. Now, I'm not an anti-vax guy, and I support the fact that I think vaccination has been one of the scientific sort of achievements of modern medicine that has saved many, many lives and generations. I will not argue with that, but I also do not want to, and I will never support government telling me to stick a damn needle in my arm or go have my kid. And that's not my kid. I'm just pointing over the corner. Rex is not my kid, but she could be, but she's not. Anyways, I would not support a needle in anybody's arm that doesn't want it, right? So let's face it. This is government control. Lord Fauci is on that level, man. It's a serious issue. And you got to look at it from the perspective that why? What is this objective? Is it really science? When him and Bill Gates get together and dream up not just this, and then we'll be eating scientifically developed red meat because Bill Gates wants us to eat synthetic meat. Him and Fauci are two peas in a pod right there. This is the world we live in. Talk to Alex Jones. You're going to hear exactly these stories. We talked to him about that. We talked to him about listen, reparations is a conversation that, first of all, I want to approach it like this. Black America. I'm not black, and so I don't know what it's like to be black. And I do know this. I want to support Black America. I know that we are in a broken position. I can blame many reasons for that. I can look at the past 4 years. The administration was in office, who I certainly support, didn't help the issue of the black race issue with white America. And I will tell you this, there is a need for that conversation in this country. I'm not going to run away from it. But I also know it's been monopolized by the corporate media and the control party politicians. We talked about it. This has been a campaign promise from the Biden camp in order to garner votes of the Black Americans in this country. Because you got to remember, folks, statistically, Donald J. Trump, now I'm going to piss you off if you don't like Donald J. Trump. He got 14% of the black vote in this country. 14%. You know what that means? It was the highest Republican get of any Republican candidate for president in that category. See, I think we've been talking to people across this country. I meet people all the time of all kinds of races. I meet the whitest of white people that hate Donald Trump, and I meet people that live straight up in Chicago. Like today, I was on a conference call with somebody from Chicago and talking to them, and they're not a Biden supporter. They weren't so much a Trump supporter, but they definitely did this. They said Trump was real. Trump was real. He was really who he was. He didn't change the game. See, that's what America's tired of. That's why people like Alex Jones make sense to us, because they shed a light on the corruption that's out there. And we should want that. Corporate media shouldn't be allowed to cancel culture that. Corporate media shouldn't be allowed to say to you, you cannot listen to this or view this or read this. You want to live in a communist society, then you keep on voting that way. You'll find out what's happening. But I'll tell you right now, 2022, big turn in America's future. We also talked with Alex Jones today about the future of the GOP. Let me touch on that. I just talked a little bit about the cowards in the GOP here in Connecticut, and I can't wait to call you out. I'm going to call you out. I know who the cowards are. I know who the phony balonies are. I was behind the curtain, you know? And listen, this is not a blanket statement. There's not a lot of them. There's a lot of great Republicans. There's a lot of great Democrats. There's a lot more better Republicans than Democrats. Just saying, for the record. Just whatever. Get mad at me. But you know what? At the end of the day, don't be afraid. And I think that's the fear factor that the Republican Party and the GOP has been suffering, because they were told, meaning the senators and congressmen and women who were running for their positions to get elected in this past 2020 election, if you associate with Trump, you're getting canceled. You're not getting a vote. You know, I was out on campaign trail and I love this question. I got this shot to me. And man, the response, if you could, I should have videotaped the response. I remember distinctly, I was in a little town called Plainfield, Connecticut. A little town hall meeting. And the question was, do you support Trump? From this little old lady, little white lady sitting out there. He's a racist and he's this and he's that. And how can you support him? And I looked her straight in the eye. I said, he's the best president ever, ma'am. She about turned different colors and shades of everything. Her dentures fell out. She was upset with me greatly. And I said, ma'am, why do you hate Donald Trump? What is the purpose of hating Donald Trump? What's he done to you? She really didn't know. She started to recite everything that was on the corporate media website. He's colluded with Russia. Wrong. They proved that wrong. That was a fake news story from corporate media and the Democrats. They created that. Well, he's done this and he's illegal. He's making money. No, he's actually given his entire check back. He doesn't take money from his job as president. He's done this and he's done that and done this. Who cares? He's the president of the United States. He's not your husband. See, if I work for somebody, I don't really care personally. If I have a good boss, when they shut their doors at home at night, I don't care what they're doing. Let them do what they want. That's between them, not me. But you want to judge people. And you know what's interesting about judging people? You all give people a pass, though. You see, you Democratic liberal people out there, and I'm not trying to get into a debate because, you know, I love all you people. I'm not trying to say I love Democrats or Republicans, but the Democrats who are really attack mode on that previous administration, we now have Governor Cuomo of New York, who I got to be honest with you, and I hope that we are able to take credit for this. We went into a 3 minutes in the ring, and we called out Governor Cuomo, and I called him out months ago. And I predicted this, and I called it about, I think it was T-minus 72 hours on Sunday that I gave Cuomo before he actually is on his knee. He will be out of office by next week. He will be in front of a podium giving a speech, a farewell speech, and he'll be out of office by next week because the charges are coming for you. And guess what? Where's those people that were attacking Donald Trump? Hey, me too. Me too. Where are you? Go get him. He's right down in New York. Go get him. But you won't do it. You won't do it. You know why? Because you're part of the party. You see, you hear me. I'm speaking out about it all. See, I'm a dangerous dude. I'm a dangerous dude. You know why? Because I'm going to tell the truth about everybody. And yeah, you can tell the truth about me. I don't give a shit. I'll be the first one to tell the truth about me. I know my voting record in Hartford. I know when I speak passionately and confidently. Maybe I don't say words all the time correctly, but I speak passionately and confidently. And I know one thing, that I am fighting to fix problems. Oh, you might say it doesn't sound that way. Well, I'll challenge you this. I promise you, we are fighting each and every day on News Rocky to fix the problems that we face. Because to me, the only way we solve this problem is a conversation. So when I come on here and I'm in my rant and I'm excited and I'm all wound up, especially after I get an interview with Alex Jones on InfoWars, I'm not coming in the room to have this big fight and discussion and say hate Democrats over Republicans. Because quite honestly, here's the GOP story. Republicans across this country, I know Republicans in the state of Connecticut, you will never win without Democrats voting you into office. So if you don't know how to build that bridge, You keep sinking, man. And we'll just see the GOP party go bye-bye, right? That's what's going to happen. I am happy. You know, Donald Trump, obviously, CPAC, he went out in front of the stage, got up in front of the podium, and he flat out said, I am not looking to destroy this party. Now, I will tell you that I am more of a libertarian at times than I am a Republican. And I do believe that third party concept is something that the future should embrace. But I also know today it will do nothing other than give total control to one party politics. In the state of Connecticut, we've had 40 plus years of one party control politics. And I'm going to tell you who it's been. It's been the Democrats. And I'm not picking on them. They've been winning. We have a couple Republican governors in and out, but you know what happens when you have total party control politics in a state or in Washington, D.C.? It's dangerous times, guys, because you know what? Nothing is off limits. Even Dr. Seuss will get canceled. Guys, you've been watching News Rocky today. This has been a great show. I think, just as a recap here before we end, I love all the contributors here. We're definitely going to put that pool together. Rex, can we work on that on a production side? We'll do a big pool, and we want to make sure that we're putting on there the odds, and maybe we'll have a News Rocky party to celebrate the winner. How's that sound? We'll do this. We'll plan a News Rocky party with you guys, and we'll plan that for the summer or spring. Hopefully we don't get in any trouble, with the COVID issues, but you know what? We'll figure a way around it. So we're going to pick when Joe Biden, the now president, the 46th president, will be turning over the reins to Kamala Harris, the 47th president. It's going to happen this year. Before I was thinking more 2022, but I think 2021 it's more possible each and every day that I see Joe Biden struggling. It's sad, man. It's a sad day. Guys, we watched Alex Jones and I getting into it today. You got me in the ring getting into it, talking about everything. We're on network. Our network here, the Forward TV network that just launched March 1st. Our numbers are already guys, I got to tell you honestly, the execs out here, they're all executives. They're all in their suits. They're all dressed up fancy, big time, fancy people out here. And because they're part of a network TV program now, Forward TV is huge. We're going to be right there. Fox News, Forward TV. I know, Lifetime. I know, Chris, I'll talk about NBC and CNN too, whatever for you. Anyways, we are going to be huge. And they're out there talking right now about the numbers. They keep hitting high levels. And you know what's great? You know what's really great? Is we're doing this from the ground up. And that's like my happiest moment. And you got on this network of talent, you're bringing people here that, so I don't want to call myself talent, but let's face it. You're getting stuff like from me that you have one sort of conversation, political, news of the day, fake news, commentary, meeting people. I love the conversation with people, but you're also getting a counter to that. And so, you're going to have a lot of choices here on this TV program. And when you talk to folks that are talking about Forward TV, they're really excited about all the content that's coming out. So look forward to that. Please go down, scroll, like this, share it Forward TV with many people as you can. Ask them to share it. Keep sharing it. Help us grow this. Because, guys, the one thing I can promise you this, you're going to hear me on this platform. But if I had to rely on corporate media, they would silence me. They would silence me. I would have already been silenced. So unless you want that to happen, make sure you keep sharing this, okay? Folks, this has been an amazing episode of News Rocky. I feel the energy and the love from you guys out there commenting. I got to tell you, honestly, this has been an amazing ride in general. I just hope you keep on appreciating what we're doing. Please keep sharing. Please keep making this happen. And guys, if you have something you want me to talk about, send an email to us and let us know. Guys, we'll see you back in the ring tomorrow with News Rocky. It's been a great episode. And thank you, Alex Jones, for allowing us that opportunity to be interviewed.